Good morning, everyone. The second day of the great antiphons, O Adonai. O Adonai is an interesting word. It's used most often as a tetragrammaton, which means it's used as a placeholder, as a pointer to the very name of God in Hebrew text. So since Yahweh is considered the holy name of God, I am who am, since Yahweh is considered too holy to say, Adonai is one of the many names for God that's used. Now, there are two things that I want to point out here. The first is that Adonai is actually plural, and it's sung so often in hymns, and people are just simply referring to Lord or God. And the actual meaning is Lord. In fact, the word is used in a very secular sense as well. But Adonai is actually Lord's. It points to a diverse God, or a God that has multiple manifestations, if you will. The second, and this is where I'd like to remain with our focus, is Adonai has a connotation of intimacy to it. It is the covenantal relationship initiated by God that shows itself as being part of our human experience. So let me say that again. Adonai has a covenantal connotation to it. This word that means lords, that's actually plural, always points to an intimacy of relationship with the person that's speaking it. So whereas some of the names for God or the ineffable point to characteristics that are quite transcendent to the material world, or are informing of the material world, or are emanations of the material world, Adonai is the intimate connection of the ineffable, of source, in every single event, moment, emotion, and thought that makes up the world. So Adonai is got this sensitive, all-encompassing reference to source or spirit in our lives. It is the touching and being touched by. Think of a time when you have been somewhere and maybe it was a person, maybe it was nature, maybe it was a song that you heard, but you were in that event touched by spirit. That's Adonai. And it comes in manifold ways in our life, doesn't it? That intimacy is being touched. Ultimately, the divine wishes to so realize this touch within us that we become fully Adonai ourselves. That almost seems wrong to say, right? The way we use the word Adonai sets it apart, in that it would be very strange if we referred to each other and we bowed and said, Adonai, Adonai, because it's so linked to person. And we as individuals focus, and rightly so, on our individuality and our being separated, if you will, a separated entity from the all-encompassing essential part and quality of the divine. So today's meditation then is an opening up of ourselves to the intimacy, to let ourselves be touched in the very places that we have sheltered from touch. There is a beautiful story that Jesus tells, a parable, and he talks about a shepherd having 100 sheep and grazing upon the rolling hills. And at one point, the shepherd realizes that he has the 99 with him, but one has gone missing, one is lost. And Jesus says that the shepherd leaves the 99 to go find the one. I had a direct experience of God 3 years ago in this very passage and experienced it as shafts of light that filled all my being, except there was one ray that was reaching into a part of my being that I was holding sheltered because of fear. And that one shaft went into the one place that was still unintegrated into the wholeness of my being as an expression of the divine. So let's open today to the part of ourselves that we shelter from being touched. We shelter from being touched in the many messengers that come bearing the good news of spirit in our lives. We may shelter it in certain ways people speak to us. We may shelter it in what we wish to realize as our soul calling. We may shelter it in simply being a little bit more guarded in one way or another, or even putting up things such as self-doubt. Let's open that part of ourselves specifically to the touch of Adonai. I invite you to close your eyes. And with eyes closed, feel the touch of the chair that you sit upon or the cushion. Feel the touch of the air around you. Feel the touch of the parts of your body that touch other parts. And to begin, take your left hand and place it upon the heart and the heart chakra. And feel the touch of the left hand upon the heart. Let this touch be a portal to open the places within where fear still resides and where the fear of being touched by the divine there is scary. O Adonai, edux Israel, qui moisi in igne flamme rubi apparuisti et in sina legem dedisti. Veni ad redimendum nos, im brachio extendo. Feel, sense, or imagine this touch of the divine that is your very essence of your being. This touch is awakening in you this morning in brilliant shafts of light, filling you as water would fill a glass. And allow these shafts of light to move to any place within your being where you have discomfort, emotional, physical, psychological, spiritual, whatever it may be, whether you can name it or whether it remains shrouded and somewhat unknown out of protection. Allow the shaft of light of the spirit of the essence of your being to move directly into that part of you. And in this presence, let's tone Veni, which is come, inviting the divine to come into all the hidden, concealed places within ourselves. Veni, Veni, Veni. Come, O lover of our souls, who delights in union with us, who delights to come as us, to touch this world. May we brim with this touch, vibrate in this touch, until the I-thou of our love affair dissolves into only the knowing of our being. O Adonai, within us, you know how to pull back the veil, to reveal the brilliance of presence in every person, place, or thing. Let us see with those eyes alone. My friend, allow the presence that you know to well up behind the eyes, the physical eyes of your body. Feel the fullness of consciousness welling up behind the eyes. And when you are ready, open the eyes from this place of allowing consciousness to see itself through you. Maybe walk today in that very presence. The poem in the email was moving by Malcolm. Speaking of Adonai, wishing to be met face to face. And in the very end has this invocation: touch the bare branches of our unbelief and blaze again like fire in every leaf. May we today be united as we walk through the world, seeing only with the eyes of consciousness. Blessings, my friend. Happy O Adonai. I will see you tomorrow.